the young and the restless spoilers. Victor Newman was never one to shy away from a challenge, especially when it came to expanding his empire and securing his legacy. His latest target was Glissade, a prestigious cosmetics company currently managed by the ambitious and shrewd Audra Charles. But Victor's plans were never straightforward, they were always layered with strategy and manipulation. His latest ploy involved Kyle Abbott, a talented and experienced executive at Jabot, the company run by Kyle's father, Jack Abbott, and stepmother, Diane Jenkins. Victor had observed Kyle's growing discontent with his position at Jabot. Despite over a decade of dedicated service and undeniable talent in the cosmetics industry, Kyle had been passed over for the CEO position in favor of Diane. This decision had left him feeling undervalued and eager to prove himself. Victor saw an opportunity in Kyle's frustration and was determined to exploit it. Victor arranged a private meeting with Kyle, choosing a luxurious setting that would appeal to Kyle's sense of ambition. As they sat overlooking the city, Victor laid out his proposal. "Kyle, I've been watching your career closely. You're a remarkable talent, and it's a shame that Jabot doesn't fully appreciate your potential. I have a proposition for you." Kyle, intrigued but wary, leaned forward. "What kind of proposition, Victor?" Victor smiled, his eyes gleaming with the promise of power. "I'm planning to invest heavily in Glissade, a leading name in the cosmetics industry. I see enormous potential there, and I want you to be a part of it. I can make you co-CEO alongside Audra Charles. Together, you could take Glissade to new heights." Kyle's interest was piqued. He knew Audra well, and they had always maintained a professional and amicable relationship. The idea of working alongside her to develop a major player in the cosmetics market was enticing. But he also knew Victor's reputation for manipulation. "Why me?" Kyle asked, his voice tinged with suspicion. Victor leaned back, his expression turning serious. "Because you have the experience and the drive. You've dedicated years to Jabot, but it's clear they don't value you as they should. At Glissade, you would have the chance to lead, to innovate, and to prove your worth. And, let's not forget, you would have the full backing of Newman Enterprises." Kyle's mind raced. The offer was tempting, but it also felt like a betrayal. He had always been loyal to Jabot, despite his frustrations. However, the prospect of co-leading a major company with Audra and having the financial power of Victor Newman behind him was hard to ignore. It was a chance to step out of Jack's shadow and make a name for himself. Victor could see the conflict in Kyle's eyes and pressed his advantage. "Think about it, Kyle. This is your opportunity to shine, to build something great. And it's not just about the company, it's about your future. Imagine the possibilities with the resources we can provide." The thought of outshining Diane and even Jack was appealing. Kyle's resentment toward them had been growing, and this offer from Victor seemed like the perfect way to channel that energy into something productive. But he also knew the risks of getting involved with Victor. The man was a master manipulator, and his motives were always layered with self-interest. "Let me think about it," Kyle said finally, needing time to weigh the pros and cons. Victor nodded, satisfied with Kyle's response. "Take your time, but don't take too long. Opportunities like this don't come around often." As Kyle left the meeting, his mind was a whirl of thoughts and emotions. He couldn't deny the appeal of Victor's offer, but he also couldn't shake the feeling that he was walking into a trap. The next few days were spent in deep contemplation, weighing his loyalty to Jabot against the opportunity to lead Glissade. He reached out to Audra, setting up a casual lunch meeting. As they discussed the industry and their respective roles, Kyle subtly broached the topic of Victor's proposal. Audra's eyes widened with interest. "Victor approached you about Glissade? That's intriguing. I think we could make a great team, Kyle. With Victor's backing, we could turn Glissade into a powerhouse." Her enthusiasm was contagious, and Kyle found himself leaning toward accepting the offer. But there were still nagging doubts. What would Jack and Diane think? How would this affect his relationship with them and his standing at Jabot? Finally, he made his decision. He met with Victor again, this time with a resolute expression. "I'm in," he said. "But I have conditions. I want a clear and fair partnership with Audra, and I want full transparency about Newman Enterprises' involvement." Victor's smile was one of triumph. "You have my word, Kyle. This will be a partnership built on mutual respect and ambition."